So good evening, everyone. I show that we're live on Facebook. I will just give folks another minute or so to find us here. And we have some folks settling into our Zoom room tonight. So welcome to all of you. We do live stream the meditation here on Facebook typically, but we only do the discussion in Zoom afterwards. So I'm Jamie, and thanks for joining us. Hang on, we're having some technical difficulties, it looks like. Let me do one quick check on the Facebook stream. Okay, now it looks like we're good. Good. So let me just bounce this over one more place and then we will go ahead and get started tonight. Okay. So if everybody would be so kind as to take an organic stretch and make a sound or a breath along with it. We'll be really focusing our meditation tonight on the breath. And so even as you're doing these first few organic settling movements, I'll ask you to notice the quality of breath as you do that. I will give you about a minute here for this process to move and shift and let yourself come into a place that you can sustain for the next 20 to 25 minutes of meditation. We typically do give you the option here of doing sitting down or lying down, since a lot of our meditations have a bit of this yoga nidra quality. I would say whichever one you choose tonight, either sitting down or lying down, let it be one that really helps you connect with breath. I know some of us do that better sitting. Some of us may do it better lying down, and others may elect for some combination, or you may notice that I really need the deep rest tonight, so lying down would feel most appropriate. So once you feel settled in, I am going to ask you to check your grounding. So it might be really noticing how your body feels in the chair, how your body lying down may feel on the floor or whatever surface you're sitting on. You may elect to touch the wall. You may elect to bring touch contact to some object. This might be helpful, rubbing the hands together or just kind of bringing some energy into the fingers if at any time you might be feeling a little overwhelmed and just needing to check in with your here-ness during this meditation. So our focus tonight is truly going to be on breath. And something that I learned in my trauma-informed training coming up with yoga and meditation is that breath can be both a trigger and a resource. And I think for many of us who practice yoga, we think of breath as a resource, but perhaps be mindful that that's something you've grown into. At first, if you think all the way back to maybe when you started meditating or started practicing yoga, and maybe even now you still experience it, it could be challenging to really take a nice deep breath because your body may not be used to receiving that level of relaxation, that level of just attunement that breath can bring. So please be gentle with yourself tonight. As I said, those grounding anchors are there for a resource. Any suggestions that I give you for breath are simply that, suggestions. We're actually not going to do anything sophisticated with deep breathing tonight or any kind of special breaths. It's more about the meditation that we're connecting with the breath. So closing your eyes if that feels comfortable or available. And over the next 10 breaths or so, I'll stop yapping here in a minute. I'll invite you to really notice your breath. If it helps to make a sound as you exhale, especially if it's difficult to stay focused on the breath, let that exhale be a sigh or a sound of letting go. Notice what you're noticing now. And when I ask this question, I'm not looking for any right or wrong answer. It's simply an invitation to check in with your now, to notice the impact, to notice the impact of breath on your body-mind complex. So the practice we'll be working with tonight is a practice that is used in some form in just about every spiritual tradition out there since the dawn of time, and that's this practice of the breath prayer or breath meditation. So an example of this is one that Daryl and I use quite frequently from the Buddhist tradition. As I breathe in, I know I'm breathing in. As I breathe out, I know I'm breathing out. So this practice is really linking a statement or a word with the inhale, and then linking a similar or complementary statement or word with the exhale. So we'll further develop this, but for now, I'd like us to try a set with this breath meditation or breath prayer that many of you already have familiarity with. So I'll lead us through the first 3, and then I will give you about 10 to 12 to try it on your own. As I breathe in, I know I'm breathing in. As I breathe out, I know I am breathing out. As I breathe in, I know I am breathing in. As I breathe out, I know I am breathing out. As I breathe in, I know I am breathing in. As I breathe out, I know I am breathing out. And now continue at your own pace for the next 10 to 12 breaths. So release the words and take a moment to check in here and notice what you are noticing. Notice what you are noticing. So now I will invite you to see if a more personal breath prayer, breath meditation, breath mantra may emerge. Pick a word, whatever word feels more organic. If you have an existing spiritual practice, there might be a word or a phrase like Sat on an inhale and then Nam on an exhale. Om Namo Bhagavate on an inhale, Vasudevaya on an exhale. If it's more of a Christian tradition, Lord Jesus Christ, Son of the living God on an inhale, have mercy on me, a sinner on an exhale. Or it could be something very personal to you, very recovery related. Inhale, peace, exhale, resentment. So I'll give you another 10 to 12 breaths here to notice the musicality of your breath and see what words naturally emerge for you to link with the inhale and the exhale. So take a pause, let go of the words, and notice what you're noticing in your body. So I'll give you another round now of 10 to 12 breaths. You can either notice if the words that emerged for you still feel organic if they still connect. Or maybe another set, another series, something more appropriate will reveal itself on the next set of breath. So let's try it again, inhaling. And exhaling, notice your breath prayer, your breath meditation or mantra. Pausing, letting go of the words. Noticing what you notice in your body. Now be with what the body's giving you right now. And from that place, let's come into one more set of 10 to 12 breaths. You can engage in them with or without the words, whatever helps you to fully be in the presence of that breath, that life force. And as we bring our formal meditation to a close, if this breath practice, this breath prayer, breath meditation, breath mantra really feels like it resonates for you, I'll invite you to make some kind of physical gesture or do some kind of physical movement to really lock it in for you. So you may choose to just do the Seal of Knowledge mudra, bringing your forefinger to your thumb very gently. You may bring your hands to the third eye. If you do any work with tapping, you may just tap it in a little bit back and forth. You can also, with the Seal of Knowledge, gently tap back and forth. And this is just as a way for your body to kind of code this in. Like, yes, this mantra, this meditation, this prayer is a resource for me. It's something that I can bring up at any time of day. Maybe when I notice that I'm rushing or I'm shallowing my breath. Because as I teach throughout the various things I teach, holding your breath never makes life easier. So I'll ask you to take another organic stretch as a transition from our formal period of meditation to discussion. If you need to shake anything off, if you're lying down, take your time with the transition coming back to sitting. And if you really need to establish contact with one of those grounding anchors, once more, please do that. Touching something nearby, pressing your feet into the ground, making contact with that object, taking a sip of water. These can all be ways to ground. So I thank you to those of us joining us on Facebook and our YouTube. The stream will end right now. And you're always welcome to join us here on Thursday nights at 6:30 Eastern on the Mindful Ohio Institute for Creative Mindfulness Facebook page. We also have our Zoom information posted there if you wish to join us live in the Zoom room, where we'll now be beginning our discussion.